All right, so I'm gonna go over some lasso fundamentals here. It's my personal favorite guard, and I see a lot of different ways people show this stuff, and I'm just gonna go over the ways that I like to do this over years of playing lasso. So first things first, let's go over getting to the lasso in the first place. So what I love about lasso, you can get to it literally anytime you grab a sleeve. It's a very easy guard to get to, very difficult guard to pass if I know how to hold it. So very common way you see people teach to get to it is you step on their stomach or their hip, you extend, you pull, you take your free leg, goes over the top, you punch it all the way through, and then you twist and square up. And that works great. It feels amazing when she is just standing there and we're static drilling. The problem though is that when we roll, no one just stands there. And what I'm doing inadvertently that I find is that when I do that kind of entry, I'm actually helping her escape, because the most common escape is the circling of the hand behind the thigh. So if I'm kind of loose with my sleeve control, she can circle, palm my leg, and when that happens, I've basically lost it. It's bending my fingers backwards. And so when I do the stomp through, the back of my leg is pushing her wrist, and if she times it, she just pulls her elbow in circles. I'm helping her escape. And so this happens a lot. And then now, like when I square up, I have to let go immediately. So I'm personally actually not really a fan of that style of getting a lasso. What I prefer to do is just drop my ankle around the elbow. So I just very, very subtle, just that. Makes her elbow bend, and I just roll my foot. That's it. So I'm not ever accidentally kicking her hand out of position. Now to maintain the hand, I want to try to maintain kind of a palm facing me grip. I'm going to be gluing the back of my hand and my wrist to my thigh like I'm loading up a punch like karate or taekwondo. What I should be doing is pulling her sleeve around the corner of my thigh, so it's very hard for her to weave her hand. Like this. So she tries to weave her hand around the back of my thigh. There's just too much tension on the sleeve, it doesn't move. The moment my elbow and my wrist kind of float out, that's where that happens. It just becomes like a pulling battle. So I'm not really having to use a lot of effort here, it was just glue. So I prefer to play a little bit more of a shallow lasso here. With leg length, you can play around with where your foot goes a bit. But again, just gotta make sure I don't ever let the hand fall out. So once we get here, we've got our control. This is kind of like the basic part of lasso. Lasso is a very forgiving guard as long as I make her pass to the opposite side. So with this free leg, a lot of times you'll see people play like spider guard with lasso, reverse de la Hiva with lasso, a half guard with lasso. All that's great. This will be more of a fundamentals video, so let's go over the basic way to play it. So we've got the control, we've got the lasso, I haven't lost it yet. Most of her passing is towards the lasso side. What she wants is this foot to fall out and start moving around with the side. When that happens, again, very tough to recover from. So instead, I'm just gonna put both my feet on her side like this. So anytime she tries to circle that way, she just pulls me around. Right, we're pretty safe. So the first sweep everyone learns is called the lasso tilt sweep. I'm basically gonna bring myself around almost like I'm pulling side control, but keep my shin bone as a tight frame. This hand is just gonna underhook her near leg. I know some people like to reach for the far leg, that's fine too. I just find it's hard to reach. So I'm just gonna kind of pull myself around the side. I invite her in, she reaches for my head, underhook the leg, and you just kind of bounce like a spring. Extend your shins through, roll them towards the lasso side, and then come up on top. So again, that's the kind of like the basic tilt sweep everyone learns. Change the angle real quick on that one. So again, I'm just holding the sleeve. I'm not doing anything too fancy with it, nothing to kind of scare her away. Just drop and roll. Hook at the hip, making sure I'm keeping the hand pulled in here. I want to pull myself around. It's going to look like I'm pulling side control at first. Grab the leg. Now don't extend in a straight line down, because sometimes you shoot your legs out of place and you help them pass. So it's a little bit more diagonal that way. The side that I have her arm lassoed here. So she can't post. And the way you come up on top with lasso, that's what most people struggle with. Just extend your legs towards theirs, and your newly freed hand that's holding the lasso cover their head. So you can do it like this, or like this, and come up. So that's the first sweep everyone learns. The second sweep I always add with this whenever I teach this, because this is not a very difficult sweep for her to counter. If she just doesn't fall for the beginner bait of reaching for my head, it doesn't really work that well. So we get to our lasso, and she just stands there. She's not falling for it. So instead of grabbing the near leg, I'm going to reach underneath myself and hook that far leg. And I'm going to use that to pull my head right between her legs. So I get here. Now, a few things to note: I'm not pulling my head all the way out. I'm intentionally staying between the legs, and my lasso leg is very shallow. You gotta be careful you don't shoot your knee through and then pull this position. So it's very shallow, ankle in the armpit. My shin bone should be kind of open going across her chest. So if she were to drop down, I have this frame keeping her in place. I want to reinforce it though, so that's where our second leg comes in. You can lock a triangle. You can go foot to foot or across your feet. Just literally whatever feels good. All are fine. So I've got this leg, grab the pant. What I'm gonna do is drop my hips and extend my shin bone through her shoulder. It should force her into a forward roll. And then same thing, feet towards their feet, cover their head as you come up on top. Now, as a third option off this that is also just good to know. So just kind of go through what we've done with the lasso guard. My favorite way to get to it, what I think is the best because it doesn't accidentally kick them out, is instead of doing the big shrimp, this thing, it's more subtle, just that. It allows us to get there a lot easier because a lot of times she'll be passing my guard, me grabbing my collar, doing stuff. I can just do that. I don't have to create a lot of space. I don't need the whole arm, just enough to get my foot in there. I'm gonna hook the hip, inviting her in. If she falls for it, amazing, get that first sweep. If she allows me to the far leg and get to here, we've got the move we just did. A very common reaction on her part is to basically just drop to her knees and pull away from me. So now I'm kind of stuck. I can't bring her forward. This is where I will continue the movement, bringing my head out. I'm going to shoot my lasso leg deeper, and this leg's going to go for her neck. So you just whip around the front, right into a triangle choke. So I'll do all that one more time real quick. So we just have a sleep. Nothing too special. I'm not pulling it too far. I don't want to scare her. It's just that. Very, very easy. Invite them in. If they fall for it, amazing. Right, first sleep everyone learns. If she doesn't fall for it too much, not a problem. Underhook the far leg, pull herself under, force them to a front roll. Then very common reaction, they do this, just pull yourself back around the front, shoot your leg through, and as you kind of whip around the front, catch their neck, and then adjust your triangle as needed.